Hi everybody, welcome to another Yarn Scrap Friday with me, Laura, and this tutorial this Friday, I thought I would show you, we'll continue the theme with beads. So if you didn't watch my last video, I showed you how to make these paper scrap beads, so it was more of a paper scrap Friday. But I thought in this video I would not only show you how to use those beads as an idea, but also how to make some crochet beads and then end up making this beautiful keychain. So I'm going to show you how to make the crochet beads. So let's begin. So for these little beads, I'm going to be using some sport baby weight yarns. That's a yarn weight of 2. And with that, I'm using quite a small crochet hook, a 2mm crochet hook. And you're also going to need a pair of scissors and a yarn tapestry needle as well. Okay, so let's begin. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do a slip knot. So this pattern's quite beginner friendly. And the most important thing obviously with beads is having the hole either end. So what we're going to do, we're going to chain 5 to begin. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So chain 5. So normally we would chain 4 to do a chain 4 loop, but we're going to do a chain 5 loop. So then we're going to put our hook into our first chain, bring the yarn through and straight through the loop on your hook, and we've got a little 5 chained loop with hopefully a larger hole in the middle. Now into there we're going to work 8 single crochets. There's patterns in US terminology, so in UK terms that's going to be 8 double crochets. So we're going to put our hook into the center, then just wrapping it around the chains, we're going to work a single crochet. I want 8 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and as you can see I'm carrying the tail end as I go as well. 8. So I've got 8 single crochet and I've carried that tail end, so you can put it a little bit just to neaten it off, but the idea is to keep a little hole in the middle. Okay, and we're not going to join our round. What we're going to do is we're going to put our hook into our first single crochet and work 2 single crochet in there straight away. So in that first single crochet we're going to work 2 single crochet, and we're going to work 2 single crochet in each stitch around back to the beginning. So you might want to use a stitch marker, or you can just count up to 16. It's because it's double 8. Okay, it's 2 in the next stitch. 2 in the next stitch. Okay, and the last 2, 15 and 16. Okay, so you hopefully got something that looks a little something like that, and what we'll do is bring up a loop, and the good idea now is to secure this tail end, and we don't want this tail end sticking out and showing in the hole. So what we're going to do is we're just going to move that tail end and secure it at the same time. Just move it over away from that center hole. Okay, and I think just move it over here as well. Okay, and then we're just going to trim down the excess. So now that center beginning tail end is out of the way and our hole is nice and clear. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to do 3 rounds of 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So we're keeping a stitch count of 16. So go straight into the next stitch and just work 1 single crochet in each stitch around, keeping a stitch count of 16, and do that for 3 rounds. 3 rounds. Okay, so I shall do that, then I'll come back. Okay, it's just coming up to the last one, 16. So there we go, I've worked 3 rounds of 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and it's facing out in this direction. And now what we want to do is just single crochet 2 stitches together until the end. And I recommend the invisible decrease so it looks nice and smooth. So to do that, instead of going under both loops of the next stitch, we're just going to go under the front loop and then the front loop of the next stitch as well. So both front loops of the next 2 stitches, then bring the yarn through, then the yarn over and work your single crochet. And that's an invisible single crochet decrease, if you didn't know that already. And we're going to do that all the way around. So you're going to single crochet the next 2 front loops together until our stitch count goes back down to 8. Okay, and it's a good idea, which is why I'm using a smaller hook, to keep a really nice tight knit, as it were, because then the bead will keep its shape. So obviously we're not crocheting around any wooden beads or anything like that. We're not stuffing it. So keeping a nice tight knit is really good. And also I'm using a cotton yarn, which I also recommend just to be a little bit tighter. Okay. Okay, so when you've finished your last decrease, what we're going to do is cut our yarn and pull that loop through, and then we're going to do an invisible join. So to do that, if you don't know it already, is thread on your yarn, and we're going to skip the next stitch here. So skip this stitch here and go into the next stitch from front to back, give that a pull, and then just bringing the yarn down, we're going to go back into, this is the stitch, last slip stitch we made, last single crochet decrease we made, and just go into the back loop only, like that. Just catch that back loop, bring your needle out to the bottom, and as you can see, when you've done that, is you've got a really nice, smooth, clear finish, and you can see all 8 stitches clearly, and that will match the other end. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is just hide this tail. I'm going to bring this back to this end. I'm not securing it, but then when I go through again, making sure the yarn's this side, it's going to try and catch a bit of yarn on the inside. Now I can't show you that because it's literally on the inside, but I can feel, you can see there, I just caught a little bit of the fabric on the inside, and then bring that through again, and then you can just use your needle to reshape if there's any misshapenness. And then what we're going to do is carefully cut this tail end. You can secure it even more if you want to, but the idea is to try and get your scissors inside a little bit and then cut. And that way, hopefully, if you can see all the way through, we've got a really nice clear inside, so there's no yarn in the way, and we've got a really nice finish either end. And because we've used cotton yarn and a small crochet hook, kept our knit quite tight, we've got quite a sturdy little bead, which yes, can get squashed, but it should most of the time keep its shape. So if you want to make this beautiful keychain, I just made 5 of these crochet beads, and I used 4 of the paper beads that I showed you how to do in my last video, so I'll put a link to that in the description below so you learn how to make those. And then all I did to make this chain, it's very, very simple. I just took, you can't see there because I frayed it out, but I took 6 lengths of yarn, 2 in pink, 2 in blue and 2 in white, just to sort of match roughly the colours. And then I plaited the whole thing from here, plaited all the way to here, and then I threaded each plait down through these 3, then separated it into equally, and then coming out through these beads and then just knotted it on the end. So this is super simple, just plaited pieces of yarn threaded through the beads. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Hope you managed to follow along and feel inspired to make some crochet beads actually with yarn. And you can mix and match them up with your paper beads from last week. So a huge thank you as always to our Member Plus members. Do check out our monthly subscription if you are a long follower of Happy Berry, because we have a podcast behind the scenes. We have a crochet magazine which is packed full of exclusive crochet patterns and so much more, giveaways, competitions and so many other things. So do check it out, and I will see you soon for some more crochet crafting fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.